Sports Buffet Podcast has been a little silent for the last few weeks. Try to get things going back, though, and what a better way to get it going back with Brookville and Heritage, the game everybody's talking about this week. It's in the Seminole District. It's at City Stadium, and it's Brad Bradley and Jeff Woody. I had a chance to catch up with both of them at the same time. Coach Bradley and Coach Woody talk about each other's programs and much, much more. A face-off. Brad Bradley and Jeff Woody here on the Sports Buffet Podcast.
First time I've ever done this. Two coaches that are going to be playing each other on Friday night at the same time. We'll call it a face-off, if you will. Jeff Woody and Brad Bradley, and after this it might be the last time I've ever done it, or I might give them the podcast from now on. Coach Bradley, let's first talk about, Brookville, very good team. They come in undefeated, and you say to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah, I mean, they're 22-0 in their last 22 football games, and they're the defending Seminole District champion, they're the defending state champion, and they're a great football team. Coach Woody does a great job, and we definitely have our challenges ahead of us for Friday night. But at the same time, I think our kids are ready, and they're going to be up for this one.
Do you feel like the favorite?
Oh, all I know is this guy is my mentor, and he puts a lot of points on the board. And I heard him say at one point in time on a news interview that he loves hanging that many points on people, and I wanted to copy him. And I'm messing with him as I slap him on the shoulder. Brad Bradley team's going to be ready to go. They always are. I can remember sitting up here on the booth watching when William Campbell came here and played Brookville in a benefit game. I was thoroughly impressed with how the offense was organized, had a running quarterback, had a versatile tailback. I think it was Pierman? Yeah, Pierman back then, and then they ran all over us. And here's a single A team out of the Dogwood District, and showed up here at Brookville High School and run amok. And, I was very impressed with how disciplined his ball players were. Not to mention helping you up after the play, patting you on the back, good job. And then you know what? They're going to come after you the very next play and do the exact same thing, put you on your tail and play fundamentally sound, both sides of the ball, physical. That's what you expect when you play this guy.
Biggest worry about Jeff Woody in terms of his coaching mind?
Well, I think that he gave us a great compliment and myself a great compliment when I was at Campbell. But I think I told somebody the other day. I said, Jeff has taken. It's not really a spread. It is a spread, but it's basically Woody's spread. He did a little speech over, I can't remember, Richmond or somewhere else that we spoke at, and the Stinger offense. And it really is something. He's kind of taken a bunch of different things and put it together, which we all do. We're all thieves. I steal something from him on film. He steals something from me. But what he's done is he's made his own system, and it works. It's a dangerous system. He's got a kid back there pulling the triggers, probably one of the best there is. So, I think that the biggest challenge for us is slowing them down. I think that's the biggest thing. You think you got them stopped in terms of the offense or the passing game. They're going to come back with the running game. Vice versa.
Can you see? Do you have something?
No.
You look like you had your hand up. I was going to say, can you see yourself rattling his team?
Now, here's what I don't like about his team. He's got very athletic folks on defense, and what that means is that when I watch this JV football game out here tonight, kids aren't able to shake free, and the 3-yard gain doesn't turn into the 8-yard gain, or the 8-yard gain doesn't turn into the 50-yard gain, and that's kind of what we've been able to do. He's got guys on defense that can fly to the football. He's got fast athletes that can prevent the big play from occurring, and a lot of times we've had our success because we've been able to break big play after big play. He's got the speed to match it. And, he said something about the Stinger offense. I didn't make that up. Cecil Phillips, bless his heart, signed me up to speak at one of his clinics and called it the Stinger system, which is the worst possible name that I could think of to describe the offense that we're running. But you're right. He's right. I mean, we are all thieves. What I do is I have combined old school Martin Lindenberg football with Marty Favret's style of offense at Hampton-Sydney College, and plus along the way I've stolen Brad Bradley, and I've stolen Magenbauer from Salem, and I've stolen Chris Jones from Heritage, and I've stolen a bunch of other types of offenses, and that's kind of what you get. I mean, we got athletes that each year change, and you got to come up with an offense that pertains to the athletes that you got, and this is what we've come up with, and so far it's worked pretty good. Helps to have a Kendall B-Craft.
Now I'm going to ask this question. I think I might get two different answers. How did you all either become buddy-buddy or just acquaintances or whatever?
I think in the coaching profession, you respect what the other guy does, period, the end. I know how hard him and his staff work and his team works. Oh, yeah. Woody's a great guy. there's going to be 2.5 hours tomorrow battling that we're going to battle. Win or lose, we're both going to be shaking hands afterwards, and we're both going to be texting each other and talking crap to each other. It's just what it is. The one thing about being in Division III and Division IV this year is this is the only time we play. But next year, we're both in Division III. So this will become a playoff game or maybe a rematch later on through the years. But I think it's one of those situations we respect each other so much. Yeah, and like we said, we like to bounce off things from each other, and I don't think you can help but when you get that, you got a mutual respect for somebody. I don't know if I say I like Woody or Jeff Woody, but I respect the hell out of him. Does that make sense?
Same.
We went out. I met him Saturday morning. We exchanged some tape.
Not for the first time.
No, well, we've hung out numerous times in the past, but Saturday morning we got together at Moore's Country Store at 9 o'clock in the morning and had some hot dogs. And we're sitting at this table inside of the store, and folks are walking by giving us that look like, what are y'all doing? But it's that mutual respect. I enjoy his company. I enjoy the style of football that he plays. I respect it and want to do what he's done in the past. And he's got a great track record. Enjoy the way he coaches. He's always intense, 100 miles an hour. My kids respect it too. They see him out there playing 7-on-7, and they notice how his kids respond. And it's hopefully we can get out there and match Heritage's intensity, because they're going to come out ready.
But you weren't thrilled that he got the Heritage job, if I'm not mistaken.
No, of course not. I told you that was the worst move that they could have made for Brookville's part. But no, what it does is it makes the Seminole District a lot tougher. And every week you got to step up and you got to be ready to play football. And here we are, both sitting as undefeated teams, and that's what you want. You can't ask for anything better than that. Regular season, late in the season, high school football game. Hopefully they'll pack the house. That's what the kids want. That's what we want. It makes the whole scenery, the whole scheme of things a lot more enjoyable and intense.
Do you guys wish you could have gotten a Brookville, William Campbell thing going when you guys were both there?
I don't think it would be the same intensity. Like he said, it's the Seminole District, and I think it's one of the best, if not the best district in the state of Virginia when it comes to AA football. And win or lose after this game, they're going to be rooting for us in the playoffs in Division IV. We're going to be rooting for them in the playoffs in Division III. Be nothing better than to have two state champions come out of the same district. So I think that's something that really fuels us both and have that same respect. But I do want to go back to the Moore store meeting.
Please.
I was at the Moore store meeting having hot dogs at 9 o'clock in the morning, which was Jeff Woody's idea.
You're an athlete.
I wasn't allowed to have those hot dogs.
You're an athlete, so I
know neither one of us are athletes during this time of the year.
You can't say that on there. My wife might listen and she'll get mad.
But I just said it was his idea. So anyway, I did not know that Moore store was the kingdom of Jeff Woody. I didn't know that I was in the midst of King Woody. So everybody that came by just gave him, hand after hand, looked at me like I'm crazy, was sitting there. Why are you sitting with the Heritage coach, so on and so forth. So I just want people to know that there is a kingdom called King Woody, all right, down at Moore's store. And if you ever want to get an autograph or something like that, he's usually down there on Saturdays from 9 to 10 signing autographs.
Free hot dog, and you had to pay double, right?
Yeah, I had to pay for the hot dogs, no question.
Yeah, he did get my hot dogs, but here's the thing. Moore's Country Store is probably 30 seconds from my house, and anytime I have the opportunity to sneak out and get a hot dog because of all the healthy food that I have to eat within the friendly confines of my house, that's the reason why so many people know me over there, because it's my second home. But I pray that my wife doesn't listen to this podcast, because if so, I'll never be there again.
I'm going to drop the CD in the mailbox for you. Now, you're a little bit older than he is, so y'all never crossed paths in the playing realm. Did you ever go watch when Brookville played the Salem back in the day?
I did not, but I've heard, I've heard all the kinds. There's one good common thing. There's one great common thing about us two. We wore the best number ever in the history of the world, number 3. He wore it, I wore it. So, that's one of the reasons we probably have such respect for each other, because we know that's probably the greatest number ever worn. And we both wore it in maroon, but he was at Salem, I was at Salem, he was at Brookville, and then he went on to Hampton-Sydney. But, no matter how much I think, about him or whatever he does, or, how much I hate him sometimes here and there, we still share that common thread of number 3.
Do you think he's gotten a big head since he's been into the Hampton-Sydney Hall of Fame?
His head?
Yes, I have.
You ever seen his head?
I've seen mine, too.
If I was him, I would shave his beard, because his head is already so damn big. So, it's one of those situations.
His head, y'all see it on the news. The thing's huge. It's way bigger than mine. Come on now.
Final thing for you, and I think Coach Bradley talked about it. How great would it be if we can get that, second Saturday of the state playoffs in Lynchburg? Brookville there, Heritage is there. We got a long way to go.
It's a lot easier said than done. Yeah. We got our work cut out for us. It's one step at a time. Obviously tomorrow night is the first step. Both of us have solidified playoff positions, but once you get into those playoffs, anything can happen on any given night. That ball isn't round; it can bounce any way, and you got to play smart, fundamentally sound, mistake-free football in hopes that you can keep making those steps. I'd love to have them watching us right before they step out on the field, or any Seminole District team for that matter. That's the way it is.
And I don't want to put any pressure on Woody, but I think that with us, it's more of a pipe dream right now. Obviously, like he said, tomorrow night is one of those first steps, kind of see where we're at, see what's going on, and we both know we're in the playoffs. But he's got a seasoned team; he's been there, and luckily I've been in that position before. And when you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. When you have that experience that they have, not only is it going to help him in the playoffs, it's going to help him in a big game like tomorrow night. And that's one of the things that, we had a big game against Amherst, but our atmosphere probably wasn't what these guys probably see every week. So tomorrow, I think that, is going to be a good measuring stick of how our kids react to that atmosphere. And, we already know we got two good football teams playing. It's just going to be who's going to come out and execute and make the least amount of mistakes.
How much, if whoever wins, is going to be bragging against the other one for about 365?
Here's what it is. I'm going to shake his hand, and it'll be respectful. But 2-3 weeks down the road, a month down the road, over the summer, he'll let me know.
And same thing for him. Don't get me wrong. Don't let him take that high road.
What's the text going to say? Is it just going to say the score?
We cannot talk about those things. Because you would not be able to put your little iPod thing.
We're on YouTube now. We can put
and I read. No, I can't.
No, I mean, is it just a simple jab of like, hey, 23-17?
Oh yeah, simple jab. Just keep it that way.
I tend to go the more detailed route with my jabs. A whole lot more intellectual than this guy.
But did you see the interview on Channel 13?
I have not. Believe it or not, I work there and I haven't seen it.
You got to see it.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
It just really defines Coach Woody as a person.
For example, he watched it and shot me a text, nice tie, blank. Okay, now my response was, I teach for a living and I choose to be as professional as possible when I'm in the classroom. And once again, his response is short.
I'm 6'4" and I can dunk.
I've never even seen him wear pants.
You don't wear pants?
It's always shorts.
I don't wear any pants either, metaphorically speaking.
I mean, any superstitions on your side? I know all of his.
No, I just, here's the only thing I do. When I don't wear my game shirt to school on Friday, I'll wear the opposite color.
I did the same thing, actually.
Wow.
You might think alike, I guess.
Or something. Now, I know you're going to talk more trash to Don Rice than you would him, I assume.
There's one thing that people don't know.
Please.
It's a fundraiser going on for Heritage High School at 5 o'clock. Okay, before the game even starts. Coach Woody and I are getting out on the 50-yard line. I'm going to whoop his butt. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. That's what's going to happen. And then at 5:02, after I'm finished with Woody, I've got one of his assistants named Deke. I'm going to take care of him also. So just making sure everybody understands at 5 o'clock and 5:02, there's two butt kickings going on. It has nothing to do with the game.
I'll tell you, I'd like to see a little punt, pass, and kick with Brogdon and Lovelace, because I know those two guys can still go. I'm not sure about you all.
That's probably what would happen. We'd have to let them do the fighting, because we're done with all that kind of stuff.
He, bless his heart, he probably whooped me up in 2 minutes, but he wouldn't have the strength or energy or wind to go fight another fight 2 minutes later. Me neither.
Gentlemen, I don't know what to say, but this has been great. We'll do this again down the line. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, Bob. Thank you.